Yeah, thank you, Amy Jo. I really appreciate it. I think today would be good, Nisha, to talk and Carmine, talk about, when you're ready to launch a product, like what are the next steps, right? I do a lot of stuff in the US. Carmine does stuff abroad. Obviously, Nisha has connections everywhere, but I think from a proactive standpoint, I always say you really need to vet your manufacturers out, right? You got to find out, how do you get a good price? Everybody wants a good price. Well, with the price, what does that include, right? Because in the end, you always want to have a great quality product. So to get a great quality product, you have to have a good manufacturing process. I went through audits with Walmart for my products to have them manufactured in the U.S. You can imagine how long that took, right? With Walmart and what the process was in order to get approved to supply every Walmart in the United States. It's not an easy task. You have to have systems in place. You have to have a robust quality process. You really need to have things in order. So I tell everyone that either works with me or goes somewhere else, really vet it out, because pricing is just one element. I hear, oh, I got the cheapest price. Well, it doesn't mean you have the best quality product, and you don't have the best quality delivered product. Because when you start shipping into places like Walmart and some of the retail, when you ship wrong or you shipped incorrect or you ship late, guess what? They charge back for their time, which goes right to your bottom line. So I always say, do that up front, vent it, really find out what you're getting for your money. I know Nisha does a lot of work all over. She's done wonderful packaging designs with folks from Shark Tank, and she is a high quality level service oriented supplier. She even has a company called Coach My Idea, but she also provides a lot of different services with packaging and prototyping and 3D. But go ahead, Nisha. I'll let you talk a little bit about some of the processes you get involved with.
Sure. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Amy, on the show. So tell me, where should I start? It's a long process, right? Yeah, all the way to production. Tons of steps involved. And I've been doing this for almost 20 years. I've worked with global clients, Japan to Switzerland to Argentina, Israel, for startups, and Fortune 500 companies. So one has a very different bringing the product to market. Fortune 500 companies have their own set that have their own facilities, all to manage production as well as marketing and with manufacturers who have our work or they want to divert into a different product. So they need help to think outside the box, including product packaging and all the branding for it. For startups, like a great example, entrepreneur and my clients for a project which was conditioner for industry, but then they loved working with us, and then we designed the wine. This is my personal, see how it goes. And when they basically raised dollars and then to companies like Betzer, Benjer, and they went on Shark Tank, raised tons of more money, a lot of marketing. Really needed money, but it was great in testing the market also, like how is it going to do licensing the product. So we did from start to end for Zips wine, packaging, point of purchase, like manufacturing file, use cost in production, and how to cut spending for the brand they were licensed to. And we made prototypes so can make decisions in like 5 they see their own brand on the, makes it much easier for them decisions. And so those are the startup type. Have done other startup like partners come together. That was an electric car, electric can opener. This was just an idea, random, just thinking about it. all the way for production. And they sold in QVC, took our clients to China, speed up the whole process. It was taking too long, fine tuning how the can holds it. What it does is it holds the can in the can opener at 17 pounds of pressure. So you know that the can is not flying in the air using it. So this kind of technicality and the detail solved at the man plan to speed up the process. So that went really good. Then I startup like independent inventors or a husband or father or friends coming to like they're trying to, oh, we have an idea. What do you think? They need something at every stage. They have no how to bring it to market or viable product, and they're also afraid of getting too much money into a project because they're hard money or they got bills and they have nothing left or ran and filed for 15,000, 20,000, and then they have nothing left to actually a prototype or to license or show it to a buyer. So I with wide variety of throughout this 20 years designing baby car charging station, so and towel product. That's my intro.
All right, cool. Carmine, you want to speak a little bit about your process, and then we can get into some of the details.
Sure. So as entrepreneurs consider startup is right away the first session is a consultation, like a crash course about on idea, like how wide it is, how big the market, what do you think, like what exists in the, and how we can idea, how it best, how much problem it solves. Things is actually discussed in first 1 hour, and also to estimate what will be the cost for it to produce, manufacture it, what will be the time. So the client gets a complete roadmap, takes their idea to go from to end. Sometimes they'll come in the mid, like they file or provisional patent. We basically work, basically their claims and see what we can also improve it, because it can also be improved and non-provisional later. So they have to improvements or edits based on the market. So that's the first. And then once client will like, okay, yes, this is what we do, because it is a serious business. Ultimately, everyone make money from their idea or sell it or whatever they want to make money. And also one idea is out in the market. How do we make sure product and how we can actually get into the market faster, cost-effective production, and have all the parameters covered, like packaging, trademark, copyright. After this, once decides that yes, they want to move forward, if they're 100% confident and they have funding to the next level, start with the research, which basically includes in-depth research, market research, user research, depending on it, right? You can go crazy. Some clients have a lot of budget. We provide a very in-depth research into user survey. What are the benefits they see in the future? Where do they want to see this launch? So depending on the client's budget, we work it out. After the run, we present it to the client. These are the changes that to recommend and to make useful, and then analyze the design brief. We go into the phase. The design phase actually put together a thinking hat from manufacturing point of view, not just making a prototype, but like manufactured, what we can think of, number of components we can already thinking like how it's this design concept can Once the client select the idea and the feature, then we go to the design phase where we actually make uh, make changes. These prototypes are actually production-ready prototypes. Know that these tooling, how long the tool be,
know how
what
to make sure
edits
you
we
balance your checkbook,
have to.
know how to make sure that you balance your budget. And those are things that obviously that
Sorry,
I don't know how to do. I'm gonna
someone
use that
else
skill
is
set.
Yeah,
I'm
someone
also
else
gonna,
is off on mute for some reason. There we go.
as a CEO, you have to negotiate. Obviously,
Nisha, by
Michael
the way, you're breaking up really bad.
stand for his party for the entire time that he's been in the Congress, and so
should we do?
Hey, whoever we got talking, if you guys can mute, it would be great.
Yeah, can't find them.
Straits, and we need people that will step up, get our energy policy
It sounds like The Rock.
here in America.
John K. Okay, he's muted.
Okay.
Nisha, you're breaking up really bad.
So-
Nisha, I don't know if you can hear me, but you're breaking
Oh.
up extremely bad. Your internet,
Am I
and
break-
your words, yeah, they're not very clear. It's at least on my end, it's breaking up quite a bit.
Now, can you hear me now better?
Yeah, it's better, but your internet's not very good. You're like freezing. Your screen's freezing.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm having a hard time. I have a good internet connection here.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
like
know.
so
You've been the only
static.
one that's breaking up. Anyways, keep going.
Okay, sorry about that. Talk slowly. So we spoke of in phase where we do a lot of market research and survey, and then we go to the design phase, actually design the and the product design from the manufacturer and reduce at that stage. The development phase is we make the prototype and then sample from the manufacturer. That's the manufacturing. From the same manufacturer, that the packaging is done right. We receive the product. Everything is all done. The client needs to do is just ship to their customers. That's the process.
Okay, come on. Jump on here a little bit, talk about your process, and I'll get into some of the value streams and how important it is to have a full value supplier when you look at manufacturing, not just the price.
Yeah, awesome, man. So let me know. I'm having problems with my video, but you guys don't need to see me anyway. I didn't do my hair this morning, but yeah, all good stuff. Thanks. I love this. Our process at Earmark is awesome because what we do is we take right from the beginning. We take clients' products, no matter where they are. We evaluate where they are, all the work they've done, and we drop them into our process at certain points. Most of the time, we try to add value from what they have worked on, whether they have a product, prototype, drawings, CAD files, whatever they are, whatever they have, and then we go from there. We usually like to save as much money and time as possible. Most of our clients are going towards manufacturing their products, so we manufacture products so many points in the world. We have several different countries that we work with, obviously US-based manufacturing also. And again, our whole goal here is to go through as quickly as possible, developing a product and saving time and money. So I'll throw it over to you, Chris. I'm having issues with internet also.
Wow, what a morning. Nisha's got 5G in New York and she's having issues. Well, I don't have any issues, so I guess I'll be talking more. So look, when I do my processes, right, I've always inherited and included my lean background in Six Sigma, which you can use in any element of life. It doesn't have to be just in manufacturing. I've used it for my kids' schoolwork. I've used it for football. I've used it for coaching baseball. It basically removes waste, right? So how do you become good at something? You become efficient, right? So in the end, efficiency relates to money in our business. So when you look at efficiencies, what do I look for? And some of this stuff is common sense. I'm really trained in it. I'm a master black belt in Lean Six Sigma, but it's common sense. And I'll give you an example. You know, when I look at like processes in the plant and I see people walking, I always ask, why are you walking? And they would always tell me, well, I'm working. I said, no, I realize you're working. I'm not insinuating you're not, but what are you doing by walking? Well, I'm going to get a box, or I'm going to get a part. So I would always ask, why are you walking to get the part? Because when you look at true manufacturing, true process control, all the quality that's associated with a good product, it's all in shorter times. So you want to keep everything near itself. So if you're manufacturing a product and you want a box, why are you walking across the manufacturing floor to get a box? Because when you look at that step, no matter if it's 10 feet, 20 feet, or 2 feet, it's steps. It's non-value. It's considered a non-value. So when you look at costing, your customer's not paying for non-value. They're paying for a quality product that has value. So why wouldn't the box be next to you, right? Why wouldn't it be where you have molded a product, you've done your operations, now you're putting it into the box? Why are you not walking? So when you're walking, everything stops. I can tell you in corporate America, when you talk about building automotive vehicles like BMWs, you have robots that actually take product off an injection machine, and you time how fast that robot moves, and you look at delays. So there's times when you could have less than a second of delay that you're truly not contributing value. So I look at all of that. We have diagrams, you have video cameras, you measure what we call spaghetti diagrams. And then when you show people what they're doing throughout the day, everyone wants to come to work and do a good job, right? Everyone wants to participate and to really have a end result that's promising, that helps the company grow, that helps them get a paycheck, that helps them get bonuses. So we show these things. We have classes that show what process controls can do, how important they are to cost. And when someone looks back and says, wow, I didn't even realize, I just took it for granted. And then they see the difference of what a process time would take, which equates to cost, they can't believe it. So then they start getting proactive, right? They want, okay, I don't want to walk anymore. I want to keep things closer. So here's a perfect example. We manufacture a product called the Super Potty Trainer. It's basically really simple. It's a single cavity mold. Product comes out. There's some operations afterwards where you put silicone pads on. You put a sticker, like a label, and then it goes in a box. But here's a good example. So when you set up the line, you've already allocated labor, right, for the process. So you have somebody right now, a person that runs an injection mold. So as they're running it and the mold is closed, what is the person doing? Well, some people say they're hanging out, they're watching movies, they're, I don't know, talking on the phone. Well, in real world, and especially in the US, when your labor costs are higher than abroad, you want to make sure that that person is also efficient. They're working on the product and they're adding value. So I look at it this way. Machine is closed. I now have 50 seconds of free time that I'm already paid for. So I use that individual now to put the silicone pads on, to put the label on, and to put the product in a box, all within that 50 seconds. Then it opens back up, a new part comes out, and the cycle starts over. That's why it's so critical to have the line set up properly and to have it functional where you're not adding non-value, you're only creating value. You're not adding cost, you're not adding delayed in times. So all of it is faster to market. And you're checking it, like you're visibly quality inspecting it as it comes out of a machine, right? So it's like, it's twofold. You win in both cases. So that's one example. And here's an example of the box again. You know, I had my son working with me early on when we launched this. And just again, I always taught my kids early on how to really understand manufacturing and the importance of value. So the box is, it's a real example of, here's what happens. Son's walking across the plant floor, getting boxes. He didn't think nothing of it. Machines running. You've already got an operator doing all the other value. So I would just ask the question of him, why are you walking across the floor? And of course, he would look at me kind of awkward and say, well, I'm going to get the box for the next run. I'm saying, but why aren't the boxes already set up at the press? So you don't have to walk. You don't have to do any of that. He said, what's the big deal? It's only a couple of minutes. I said, okay, you're right. It's not a big deal. So we'll just do it this way. I'll look at how long it takes you to do the boxes all day by walking back and forth. I'll figure out how much time you wasted, and I'll deduct it from your paycheck end of the week. Of course, the look on the face. End of the week? What do you mean? You're going to take money away from my paycheck? I said, well, who do you think pays for that non-efficiencies? The customer. So if we're trying to provide a low-cost product, but a high-quality product, so the efficiencies are so critical, and then we would just do a quick study and say, okay, so end of the week, you're going to lose probably $100 out of your check a week. I don't want to do that. Instantly, you get a positive response. Now, that's just a small scale. Matt, just imagine building a BMW, right? Imagine building really high dollar objects that now, when you remove waste, you completely save on overall cost, and it improves the profit. Then you can offer it at a better price in the market. So I mean, I take that stuff pretty serious. It's critical. So again, when I hear somebody say, well, I'm getting a really good price in China, I always challenge it, because I say, okay, what are you paying for? What's the quality look like? Because you still got to get it here. You still got to have packaging. You still got to ship a lot of product, which means you have to spend a lot of money on inventory. Where you have value stream mapping, you have lower inventory, you have higher throughput, higher inventory turns, and you ship faster. So end of the day, I will challenge anybody on cost when it comes to value in manufacturing, because to me, it's something that I've been doing a long time. I can spot inefficiencies in any plant I walk into. I mean, before I got into my own niche of launching products, I was in corporate America my whole life. So I spent my entire 30 years, 20 of the 30 years, not just developing products and designing them for manufacturing, but also analyzing companies as an executive to improve the bottom line, to give back to the folks in the plant. So they always had better bonuses, better pay. They always enjoyed coming to work. And of course, making the shareholders happy by having a good bottom line. Now, also with that, I only partner up with certain groups. I like to have manufacturing groups that do their own tooling. So I'm in injection molding. Tooling is critical, because what I find, if you don't have good injection molding folks that actually do good machining and tooling, you run the risk of finger pointing. Guy does the tool, you bring it in the house, you put it in your press, doesn't run quite right, you need to have it reworked. Then it becomes, well, I gave it to you as a good tool, and you're not injection molding it correctly. So from a value stream, it reduces cost, it reduces lead times. You have a plant that has tooling inside, so you're just moving tooling a matter of 100 feet instead of miles, right? I also like shipping and fulfillment. So you become a full service house. You do tooling, injection molding, you have space to hold inventory, and you can fulfill orders. All of that is accountability on you as the manufacturer. You're not relying on somebody else to fill your orders. You're not paying someone else to fill your orders. You're not trucking it up and down the highways. I mean, especially in today's world with gas prices going up, that means plastics going up. That means cost of moving materials going up. Anytime you can remove all of that non-value, your part in a truck going to a fulfillment center is a complete waste of money. Some people need it. It's a necessity, but I don't work it that way in my process. So I keep my processes really value stream, really value oriented, and they're robust so that I can move quick. I don't have to wait. I mean, when I was on Shark Tank, we had big orders, right? If I had to wait after my inventory got low to have another big supply come in, or I had to hold thousands of dollars of inventory, it's a problem. I was able to put tool back in and just keep producing. And all my products are like that, whether I produce them in the Northeast or the Southeast, I always have that flexibility. Now, Nisha and Carmine work a little bit different in that Carmine does a lot of stuff internationally, but he has really good sources and he's been doing it a long time. So he's vetted that out so that he gets good quality products. Nisha talks, and does things again all over. So for me, the process of manufacturing is critical. Nisha, how about design? You want to talk a little bit more about design? Because I think people don't realize how important design is for manufacturing, right?
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
I always say the elements for me are design, tooling, good injection molding, good inventory management, good fulfillment centers, which all relate to a good final product that's extremely competitive in the market.
Yeah. Can you hear me now better?
Much
Is
better.
this- Okay, good.
You just
I
got a whole
don't
new 5G system set
From
up.
my phone, I guess phone is better. I don't know.
All right,
Anyways,
good.
so I'm sorry, yeah, if anyone missed out some other points that I mentioned before, feel free to text or put the message in the chat box. In terms of design, like it's very, very important, like how we design inside out any product, from if you say electronics or mechanical or even just general product. Like I'll give you two totally different examples. For example, there's a towel product that we did for a Japanese client. We never really did any product in fabric before. So that was our new product. And the client came to us that they are the manufacturer of really high-end towel material product for sports clothing as well as towels. And they said he wanted something that they can actually file a patent on and sell it as their own product. So what we designed and what we did is basically identify what are the problems that people have in terms of normal towels and sports towels. So what we realized that there are a lot of parents who have accidents that kids pull their towel and then you're just basically like not in good shape. So and what we can do is that to reduce this problem or eliminate this problem. And then in sports, a lot of people do biking or they're running, so they have a towel on their neck and it keeps falling down. So what can we do to make it more functional as well as add benefits to it? So you can hold it tight, as well as you can put your keys and other cards and other things in the same towel, and you can put it around your neck or your waist. So there are options to do this. So we designed and developed this product for him. He was very happy. We filed a trademark and patent for it, and he sells a lot in Japan. So you have to identify with any product or material, like, or a manufacturer who is good in producing the raw material, like how do we make it work in a way that no one has thought about it and how it can benefit people. It's actually solving a problem, not just like another one-off product. We also designed electric car charging station, which was also for a very large scale. It was done in 2010. So we didn't even have electric grids at that time. So we were ahead of time. And for that client, we had to identify what are the safety issues related to electric car charging stations. And because it can be very big if something happens, if the electricity is running out and someone touches it, they can get a huge shock. So we designed it for 120 and 240 volts. And there is a safety features that we included in the door itself. When someone plugs the charger and it's a very user-friendly unit that you can put it in a garage or a home, and you can also identify it from far. So if it's in a garage, parking lot, anywhere, it has a safety feature that people feel safe. There is some light there, and they can find out where this station is. And it's very user-friendly how often, like how long you want your vehicle to be charged for. And when you actually take out the plug, the charging plug, and put it in your car, you want to make sure that they shut the door properly off this unit then only the electricity will start flowing. Otherwise, there'll be no flow of charge, and it has to make a correct contact from the car to and the door shutting off. So there are like safety features that are included in this. So right from the beginning, we identify every detail that's required or every feature we can think of to have in a product, and identify which one are the most important features and which one are less important that we can add at a later stage. So the first one is the MVP, like what is the minimum viable product for this idea? What are the materials that are available? And the cost that's involved in manufacturing. So if we need some kind of a flexible circuitry and needs overmold, we have to figure out like how much cost it will be involved. Like, so all these things needs to be designed inside out. We want to make sure that all the components inside have small platform or small size so that the outer surface is not huge. So sometimes you have to design inside out. Sometimes we have to design from outside to inside, which does not include other mechanical features or electronic components. Then we want to make sure, like, of course, outside has to be visually appealing to customers, and they can understand the features right away. So we don't want people guessing what this function should do or not do. So it has to be intuitive for the user to know what this product is for. Similar